Oh my goodness, it's Tuesday, it's a new month, and you know what time it is. Welcome to another edition of the 2-2 Podcast. Listen, I'm so glad you could join me for this episode. I'm so glad you could join me for this new series that we're doing for the month of December called Finish Strong, Strong Finish. Listen, it's about to get lit in here, man. I'm telling you, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk. We're gonna supercharge going into the end of this year. So with that being said, you know what I'm about to say next. You know the move. Grab your friends, grab your family, grab your coworkers, grab those people you don't like as well, because they need it too. See you in a minute. Have you ever wanted to record a podcast but didn't know the way? Well, I've got good news. Let me tell you about something. It's called Anchor. And Anchor is the easiest way to record a podcast. Let me explain. It's absolutely free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. And it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So here's what I need you to do. Please download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. So, as you heard in the intro, we're starting a brand new series entitled Finish Strong, Strong Finish. The inspiration behind this series is simply this, that it came from a song that is one of my all-time favorite songs by Jonathan Nelson. It's called Finish Strong, Strong Finish. And it basically talks about that the race that we run through life is not a sprint. It's a marathon. And that we have to continue to run. And it is also inspired by one of my favorite verses. Well, two of them. There's two verses. They always put them together because they do fit. And it says that the race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but those who endure to the end. The race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but those who endure to the end. This year has been a year that has been tumultuous most of the time. It's been painful a lot of the time. It has been sad most of the time. It has been painful a lot of the times. Horrifying a whole lot of the time. But most of all, it's been revealing. You know, if you're a church kid like me, every church this year has had the theme. Not every church, but there was a lot of churches that came in 2020 with the theme that this was going to be the year of vision, the year of perfect vision, perfected vision, clear vision. It was going to be the year of revelation. And boy, it has been revealing this year. Show of hands. I know you can't see me. I can't see you. This is for research purposes. Do this among the group that you're with. Do this among the family members that you're listening to this episode with. How many people are shocked at what you have seen by some of the people that you were close to, or that you looked up to, or that you emulated, or that you wanted to be like at some point? How many people are shocked at what has been revealed this year? There has been some stuff in 2020 that has woken us up. Been a lot of situations that have been tense. There have been a lot of situations that have been horrifying. There have been a lot of situations this year where we've had to endure pain and loss and anger and frustration and intolerance. There have been some things this year. But I'm here to let somebody know that is at their end, that is at the end, that is ready to stop and quit. Don't quit. You cannot quit. You're almost at the end of this year, and you got to fight to the finish. This is not a 100-meter sprint. This is not the 100-yard dash. This is a marathon that we have all had to endure for 2020. I even said to a family member of mine, I may have said it to a couple friends of mine, that I felt that 2020 was an extension of the second half of 2019. Because if y'all know how the end of if y'all know how 2019 was, boy, listen, it was no fun for anybody involved. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. We had a lot that happened in 2019 that was very, very devastating and debilitating indeed. It was a lot. We had a lot going on. And then we go into 2020 thinking, yeah, it's my year. We're gonna do things better. We're gonna attack this dream. We're gonna get this goal. We're gonna go here. We're gonna do things like we've never done before. We didn't know the fullest extent of that, did we? We didn't know the fullest extent. This is only the intro to this episode. I'm about to get into the second. I'm about to get into the finish strong finish part in just a second. But I just wanted to set the table for the month ahead about what we're going to do. But here it is. We attacked it. We came into 2020 like, yeah, we're going to, from January 1st to December 31st, we're going to go get that dream. We're going to go take that trip. We're going to do this. We're going to win this. We're going to get this. We're going to have this. We're going to do all of this stuff. That's what we said. And then all of a sudden, it all came down. It all came to a screeching halt in March. Now, we've been in situations where we can't travel the way we used to. We can't go out the way that we used to. And we can't move the way that we used to. We can't hang out the way that we used to. We can't go to sporting. It has been a tumultuous and very crazy year for everybody. Whether you want to believe it or not, you want to hide behind it or not, it has been a very crazy year. That has been filled with a lot of things being canceled and a lot of things being postponed for 1, 2, maybe 3 years. Compounded with the fact that later on in this year, we had to deal with a lot of racial intolerance. Not that we don't deal with that all the time. But it seems like this year, we couldn't hide behind things. We couldn't hide behind sports. We couldn't hide behind going out. We couldn't hide behind events. It was all in plain sight this year. It's all in plain sight. It's all in plain view. And sometimes it takes some of our things to come to a screeching halt for us to realize that we have work to do. Sometimes it takes a little bit of revelation and clear vision to realize that we've got things we need to accomplish in order to make things better for our generation and the generations after us. And for those of you who are going to start putting these posts up, maybe in the next few weeks, closer to the end of the last week of this year, that says, if you didn't start, and I hate these posts. I hate when people say this. For those of you who didn't start, who didn't start on 2021 before December, you're late. There's always going to be somebody. Here it is. There's always going to be somebody that wants to call somebody out for the race that they're running. Oh, buddy. Talk to him, Stevens. I think I will. There's always somebody who's way ahead of you that instead of encouraging you and telling you keep running the race that you have been given, instead of doing that and being encouraging and pushing you to be great in your race, on your wave, instead they'd rather be critical and say, because you didn't start at a certain time, you're late. It's too late to keep going. You started too late. You started in November. You should have started in March. You started in December. You should have started in January of this year. But I'm here to let somebody know that in the middle of a pandemic and in the middle of all that we've endured in this year, it is never too late to finish strong. Some of us are starting dreams today. Some of us have started dreams in January. Some of us won't start a dream until the last week of this year. And for those who want to attack others, it leads me to believe, and this is just my opinion, that you haven't even started your race. It's funny how people that haven't even started criticize people that are on something. Oh, you better than me. I couldn't. You still haven't done that. You still haven't gone this far. You still haven't done. There's always going to be somebody, no matter if they're far ahead of you, better yet, behind you, that haven't even started, that haven't even moved off their couch, that would rather talk. We get into the nitty-gritty already in the first day of the month. I told you this month was going to be something. There's always somebody that hasn't even started that will be critical of your journey, no matter when you started. And that's simply because you took the initiative to finally say enough is enough. I've been through enough in this year. I've been through too much hell this year. I've lost too many friends this year. I've seen what's going on in the news this year. I've seen what's been going on around me this year. I've seen what's happened in my church this year, at my job this year, in my neighborhood this year. And I've decided to make a change that will make my life better. They can sit around if they want to. But I am determined. I am encouraged. I am persuaded to attack this month like I've never attacked a month before. I'm persuaded to finish strong and have a strong finish, regardless of what anybody else has to say. People are going to run their mouth all they want. People are going to have something to say about what you're doing all they want. Let them talk. They talk, we walk. I don't have time to play. I don't have time to talk. I got stuff to get done in this month that is going to propel me into greatness going into 2021. This is not a game. This is not a game. I'm not here to play. I'm going to quote this song. You've heard me quote it on this show multiple times. It's written by Moby Babcock. He was a psalmist, a songwriter, years and years ago. He's written countless songs. One of his other famous songs is a song called "This Is My Father's World." But he has a song that talks about this right here. And it says we have no time to play, to dream or to drift. We've got work to do and loads to lift. Shun not the struggle. 'Tis God's gift. Be strong. Shun not the struggle. Face it. 'Tis God's gift. Be strong. Sometimes we have to learn how to be strong in the struggles, in the fight against people's opinions. We got to learn how to keep it to ourselves and just keep pushing. We got to learn how not to feed in to what other people have to say about us and what we do. Sometimes the struggle is not always financial. Sometimes it's the people around us. You heard me say this before. It's the people around us. We have a struggle with people who don't believe, or they act like they believe, but they don't really believe in what we have to do. I understand how you feel to struggle with people who don't understand. Sometimes the struggle is the job that we're in. We're not moving up. It seems like we're plateauing or moving down. I understand how you feel about that situation. Sometimes the struggle is having people around us that we thought are our mentors and we thought would help us along the way. And they didn't. We're not looking for a financial handout. We're just looking for that push. But most of all, sometimes the struggle is with ourselves. The inner me, that can be my enemy. Sometimes the struggle, here it is, it's not with other people. It's not with my job. It's not with my environment. It's not with the people I look up to. It's not with my family. It's not with my friends. Sometimes the struggle that I endure is with me. Sometimes it's my pride. Sometimes it's my addictions. Sometimes it's my my thoughts. Sometimes it's my arrogance. Sometimes it's my panic and my shock and my sadness. And sometimes it's me telling me that, yeah, you're going to only do this for a little bit, but then you're going to go right back to who you are and who you used to be before this. Sometimes we can be our biggest enemies because sometimes we fill ourselves with doubt and fear that we never keep pushing on this race where we're just that close. I'm often reminded of there's a picture, and there's two people mining for diamonds. They're in a diamond mine. They're hitting, boom, they're hitting the rock. They're hitting it. They're hitting it. They're hitting it. One is closer than the other. One is closer than the other. But here's the deal. The one that's further along is still hammering away. But the one that is so close, and they just need 5 more taps. They need to tap that rock they need to tap that rock about 5 more times. Maybe a little more. And they were going to get everything that they've worked for and strained for and strived for. But instead, because they didn't feel that they were close enough, or they still thought they still had a long way to go, they just walked away in sadness. How many people this year have had to deal with themselves? How many people have had to deal with their own doubt in this year? How many people have had to deal with fighting with themselves, fighting temptation, fighting fear, fighting panic, fighting mistrust? But I'm here to let you know that it's time to fight to the finish. It's time to get it, y'all. So how must we finish strong and have a strong finish? First, we must refuel our focus. First thing is refueling the focus. This was supposed to be a year where we refocus our focus. Our vision became clearer, and we were supposed to attack some things this year like never before. However, we have been faced with an uncertain time with the pandemic, where we can't attack it the way that we could have or wanted to. We've been faced with that in this year, and now we've been faced with the reality that we have to refocus our focus. We have to refocus our moves. We have to refocus how we move. It's chess, not checkers. It's been a chess match. It's been a chess match. We have to refocus our focus. Okay, I can't do it this way. Let's do it this way. We can't focus on what other people think we should do. We have to refocus our focus. Number 2, we must refuel our fire. Refueling our fire. Allow me to be transparent for just a second. You know, I'm about transparency on this show. For a little while in the middle of season 1, I just felt that my fire was like I didn't have the same passion at times that I did when I first started this podcast. First half, I was just, I was there. Yeah, let's do it, and this, that, and the third. And we were talking about, being uncommon and watching your circle, watch your actions, and we were talking about all of that, and it was fire filled. It was exciting. It was electric. But there was a point where I was just going through the motions. I'm just being real. There's plenty of times where I felt like I was going through the motions. How many people here, show of hands, again, you can't see me, I cannot see you. But show of hands. How many people felt like at times they've been just going through the motions? Going through what they usually do. How many people have felt that way this year alone? It's been one of those type of years where we felt like we've gone through the motions. We felt like we felt like we've been doing the right thing. It's just what I'm used to doing. I felt like I was going through the motions through a lot of the stuff that I was doing. I was doing the podcast, and then I was doing this. I was doing the same thing. I had a routine. But I believe that sometimes God has to interrupt our routines to not only refuel our fire, not only refuel our focus, but refuel our fire. We got to refuel our focus, refuel our fire. And here's the third thing. We have to refuel our faith in this month. Our focus, our fire, and our faith. Our faith has been tested in this year. Our faith has been pushed to the limit this year. Our faith has been pressed this year. We have been tested on every side. We have been perplexed on every side, tossed around on every side, beaten and battered by this year alone. We've had to deal with some things this year alone that have made us, in some cases, hardened. It's hardened us. It's made us become stoic. It has desensitized us. It has numbed us. Because it just seems like the hits just keep on coming. We've been asking the question, will we ever get a reprieve? But I'm here to let somebody know that this is the time to refuel your faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I can't see it right now. I can't see I can't see it right now. Everything's slow. Everything seems like it's at a standstill. Everything seems like it's just yuck. It's just nothing's moving. At all. Nothing. I can't move the way that I thought I was going to move going into this year. I can't do what I thought I was going to do in this year. I can't do certain things that I thought I was going to do in this year. I can't travel. I mean, some people can. Some people have. I know plenty of people that have, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to talk about them. Can I be even more transparent with you? This was supposed to be the year where I was going to travel. I was going to travel and I was going to go places and I was going to go to different church conferences and I was going to do certain things and I was going to visit friends and just enjoy life. But things happen. And now, I had to refocus my focus, refocus my fire, refuel my focus, refuel my fire, and not only refuel my faith. And I've gotten some opportunities in this year, and they're going to keep coming. I believe it, and I have faith that they are in this year, and I believe it for you as well. But we all have some opportunities that are going to come, that are going to be amazing, that are going to set the course for something great going into 2021, set the course for 2021 like never before. But we'll still be in a pandemic. We'll still be dealing with that. That doesn't mean a thing. Yes, we'll be in that, and we're aware of that situation. We're aware of what's going on. I understand. But at the same time, and I'm standing on it for myself, And I'm declaring it for myself. I'm putting it into the atmosphere for myself, and I'm putting it in the atmosphere and declaring it for you. Right there, who feels like they've been hammering and hammering and hammering and hammering and hammering, and no results have happened. Not a speck of a diamond, not the light from a diamond has showed up. Nothing has showed up. You have been hammering and you haven't hit oil. You have been hammering and haven't seen gold. You have been you've been digging and digging. You have been doing everything you can in this year. Declaring it for you. That something amazing is about to happen for you and I going into 2021. Starting today, refuel your focus, refuel your fire, refuel your faith. I end with this. You may have heard me tell this before, but I'm going to tell it again because I feel like it may fit as we're talking about enduring into the end of this year. And refocusing, and refueling, and reviving. You've heard me tell the story about bamboo. If you don't know anything about bamboo, it takes it several years to grow. But the thing about it is that you have to continue each and every day. You cannot skip a day. That doesn't mean don't take time to rest and recuperate and refocus and just get back to you. That's not saying that. I don't want you to run yourself ragged. I need you to take some rest. Take a respite at some time. At some point. But at the same time, folks, continue to work and cultivate that dream. Continue to work even in the midst of all that's going on. Continue to work. So let me tell you something about bamboo. The person that is growing bamboo, they'll have to endure somebody that doesn't know anything about the growth pattern of bamboo. The growth pattern of bamboo is this, that it doesn't grow in a few days, a few weeks. No. It takes about 5 to 6 years for it to grow. 5 to 6 years for it to grow. And that's through constant cultivation, constant watering, constant constantly checking on it to make sure that its growth pattern is healthy and stable. But here's the thing, and this is the shout right here. This is the part that every time I hear this story makes me, it gets me so excited. That in the 6th year, that bamboo grows up to 80 feet. On the 6th year, between 5 or 6 weeks, he grows up to 80 feet. What does that mean for somebody right now? You may have decided to start now. You may have decided to start in this moment right now. As you're listening to this episode, you may be thinking about something right now that you did not think of doing in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, etc. You did not think about doing that then. But now there's something that clicked that made you say, you know what? Here it is. I think I'm ready to do this thing. And I'm here to let somebody know that's listening to this episode right now, because this is blessing me too. I'm here to let somebody know, listening to this episode right now, That you may have started late, but I promise you this, if you keep going, if you keep fighting, if you keep pressing, we're all running a race. Some of us are further along than others, but if you keep pushing, if you keep hitting that rock, you're going to get what you want behind that rock. This ain't a prosperity message. This is to let somebody know to keep fighting. And for the month of December, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to do this. Throughout the month, this month, we are going to jump on this like never before. We are going to attack this thing like never before. I promise you that by December 31st, I promise you this, that you're going to be ready to run through a wall and run through the wall of 2020 to go into 2021 and attack everything like you've never attacked it before. I'm doing it with you. Let's get this thing. Let's finish strong and have a strong finish. Hey, listen, thank you for joining the show today. Don't forget to follow the show page and my personal page. The show page is 22_podcast. That is 22_podcast on Instagram. And my personal page at AlexJ_live. That is AlexJ_live. Please don't forget the 22 podcast has merch. That's on 22apparel.threadless.com. That is 22apparel.threadless.com. See you soon.